views expressed on this program are not those of intellectualradio.com, its subsidiaries, or sponsors. Encouraging, educating, and empowering you into action. This is Warriors Talk with your host, Lady ReShell.
Hello. Welcome to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we move away from awareness towards action. It is Relationship Monday, and our topic for today is relationships and marriage. How soon is too soon? We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from Roman with the drive at 5. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio. Allow us to feed your brain. Last week, we talked about renter to homeownership with our real estate guru, Tamara Mutri. If you missed that, go over to YouTube, type in Intellectual Radio, and stay connected with us. We are grateful for our sponsors. We have Mary Kay with Gloria Dotson. We have Allstate with Paula Kelly. And then we have Emanuel C.O.G.I.C with Pastor Michael Richardson, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emanuel C.O.G.I.C-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson, and we are from the Emanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Awesome. It is June, and this is Cancer Survivors Month. Yesterday, we celebrated Cancer Survivors Day, and in the U.S., there is 16.9 million cancer survivors. So if you know a cancer survivor who has been diagnosed with cancer, who is already done with treatment, then call them up and tell them that you are glad that they survived. We're going to hear our trending topics for today.
Mass shootings leave fatalities in Chicago, Portland, Miami, and other cities. Mass shootings were reported across the United States last weekend, leaving 5 people dead in Chicago, 4 in Oregon, 2 in South Florida, 2 in Indianapolis, and 1 in Salt Lake City. 7 people were wounded at a graduation party in Cleveland. In New Orleans, 8 people were injured in a single shooting incident. More than 8,400 people have died from gun violence in the United States this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive, with over 240 mass shootings as of June 1st. In May, the archive told CNN there had been 23% uptick in deaths from gun violence so far this year. Those are your trending topics for today.
All right, those are your trending topics. I'm excited about today. I'm always excited about Relationship Monday. We have none other than our cancer activist, motivational speaker, and the founder of the Gal Foundation, ReShell Gilmore. Hello, ReShell.
Hello, Lady ReShell.
How are you?
I'm great. It feels like forever.
Yeah, you know, with the holiday thrown in there, we took a little break, but we are back and we are ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
So if you are joining us, if you are joining us on any form of social media, do us a favor, like, share the show, invite somebody else in on the show if you value this information and you feel that they will value it as well. So ReShell, let's talk about relationships and marriages and how soon is too soon.
I got to take a deep breath right here and just lean back. Look, yeah, that's definitely a lot right there. Man, I mean, relationships and marriages aren't easy as it is, but when you start throwing little different situations and scenarios and all different kinds of things in the mix and in there, it really makes it more strenuous to even want to be in a relationship, you know, with anyone. I think it's the politics that goes along with it. And I think tonight's subject is really going to touch on a lot of the politics. I don't think that is anybody's like there's any certain amount of time frame of when you should or shouldn't, be in a relationship, or you should wait this long or that long. I know people who met 2 days, got married 2 weeks later, and they're together forever. So it all depends. You know who the person is.
I totally agree that we should not be mapping out our relationship according to somebody else's. And we do that a lot. We look at social media and we're looking at everybody else and we're saying, man, I want that. They say relationship goals. So we should be basically meeting the needs of our partner instead of comparing our relationship to someone else. Because you don't know what's going on inside of, their homes. You just know what you see, the pictures that you see, but you have no idea what's really going on inside of their home. So yesterday, Rizal, I was a guest on the show, and one of the statements came up, and the guy was talking about relationships, and they talked about marriage, and it was like, no, when we meet, the woman shouldn't mention marriage at all. We should just go with the flow. And the women were like, what? And even some of the men was like, no, we need to actually, talk about that. You should be talking about that from the beginning. And so the question was, when you are dating, when should that come up? When should marriage come up? When should you tell somebody that that's part of your plan, that you want to get married?
Well, I don't think that it should come up in like the very beginning, and it's all disclosed on what you mean by the very beginning. Because if I met you within 1 to 2 weeks, I don't think I want to discuss marriage. I may not even like you. Who's to say that we're going to be together forever? Maybe as time go on, maybe we get like 6 months in, then maybe we can start to discuss, because now it's looking a little bit more solid. The beginning is still a little rocky. You on rocky ground. You know how they say the house is built on sand and rock. We on sand ground. It's a little bit shaky. So I don't know about in the beginning just yet. But later on, maybe 3 months. And the woman always say, hey, she lays it down to a guy like, hey, I want to be this, this, and this. I want to be married. I want to have children when after we get married and blah, she got it all planned and lined out. The guy is like, well, that's not how I envisioned it. I just thought that we just get together, kick it, see how it go. And if we together about 5 to 10 years, then, hey, then we get married.
Did you just say 5 to 10 years, Rizal?
Did I just give the game away?
Right. And this is exactly why these conversations need to be had, because I feel like that's wasting a lot of time. 5 to 10 years, that's a lot of time with somebody to not be secure and have a commitment. And I mean, and you can have a commitment, but that marriage kind of makes you secure, because at any point, if we're dating, you can get up and walk away. But when you marry, it's going to be a little red tape. Leah said, I don't know, are you froze, Rizal?
Hold on, I just lost volume.
Oh, I can hear you.
I swear, people be calling me. Hold on, I got to go out and come back in. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Leah said, I think early on who you want to marry, when you want to marry someone or not. That is, if you know what you want. So some people, if you know what you want, and I'm not saying that everybody that you date that you're going to want to marry. Some people just, they come by and you learn something from them. You learn what you want, you learn what you don't want, and you allow them to go their way, but you still have fun. And that's the part that you get to learn what you want and what you don't want by dating. If you're not dating anybody, you're never going to know. I think Rizal is frozen. So if you're just tuning in, we are live on Intellectual Radio. We're talking about relationships, marriage, and how soon is too soon. When should you be having that conversation about marriage? Should you have it at the beginning when y'all first meet? Should you wait 6 months? Or like Rizal, should you be waiting 5 to 10 years to have that conversation with somebody about when you want to get married? And my response to the question yesterday was, we should be talking about that. I wouldn't say the first, second, third, or fourth date. But maybe I'm going to tell you what my expectations are, what I want. Not that you have to fulfill that, and not that I want to marry you, but I'm going to let it be known that, yeah, I want to be married. And I'm not saying that it has to be you. It may not even be you. But those are that's what I want for myself. And then, you know, you respond how you want to respond.
Okay. All right, I'm back. Man, I tell people Mondays and Wednesdays, my office hours are from 9 to 5. I got to get like Big Red on the 5 heartbeats. My office hours are from 9 to 5. Don't call me after 5 o'clock about no business or no BS. So, because Relationship Monday is one of my favorite nights, talking with my host, Lady ReShell, and I see we got a co-host to the co-host over there also.
That's my little intern. That's my little intern.
That's our current. So
yeah,
pretty soon we're gonna have a meteorologist. We're gonna have a sportsman. We doing it big here on Intellectual Radio on Warriors Talk. But back to the subject at hand.
Back to the subject at hand. Michelle Echoes said, yes, but you gotta get to know one another. I'll wait the 5 years, girl.
Well, wait a minute. How many? Think about it. Now, you laughed when I said 5 to 10 years, but there's a lot of women who undid that time, waited 5 to 10 years, and came up with nothing. So
and that's what I'm saying.
With the high hopes that was going to happen for them. So they was content with the 5 to 10 years. So what is it now? You know, waiting a couple 6 months or maybe a year or so to get a decision. I mean, at least by then you can get out of it. You know, if you don't feel like it's going the way that you want it to go.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the 6 months. I'm okay with a year. After that, if we don't know what we're doing, then we need to part ways. And I really don't want to be your friend. I mean, I have enough friends, but you're not about to waste years. I can see if I was younger, if I was in my 20s, then yeah, okay. Maybe even in my 30s. My 40s, I'm 50, about to be 51 on the 28th of this month. I'm not doing it.
Well, let me give you ladies let me give y'all some insight to how a man.
Go ahead, school us, Resolve.
Understand.
Come on.
A man is going to fight for the thing that he loves.
Exactly.
If he loves you, then he's going to fight to be in your life. He's going to fight to have you in his life. He's going to fight to make sure that you are taken care of, that you are properly happy all the time with everything that's going on. So if he is not doing any of those things, especially showing you that he wants you there, he doesn't want you there.
Say that again.
I'll say that. We want to say. I'm gonna say it again. If a man wants you there and he's not doing any of those things, he doesn't want you there. You don't have to wait 5 to 10 years for a man to decide. And you're just right now. You're just the time setter. You're just setting the time until he finds, you know, the one. And he could say, "Yeah, I want to be married," but he never said he wanted to marry you.
Exactly.
And you are there now thinking that you are the one when you're not the one. And next thing you know, he went and had a whole family 7 years later. And you like, but, because you were not the one. He didn't do those things. He didn't give you any indication that, yes, this is where we're going. And anything that he did do, it was probably just to shut you up for the time being, or to just keep you muffled so you just stop nagging or bugging him. And that's the doggone truth.
Wow. Okay. I got some comments here.
Yes, bring the comments. We got to get the phone thing set up so they can call in.
Goodness. Let me see. I told you, if y'all writing a paragraph, y'all need to call in.
Hey, Malia, what is she writing? A whole half a book up there. Go get that published.
I know. She says, if you know that this person is not marriage material for you, then you don't waste your time dating them for years. You don't have to get married super fast, but you don't have to date for 10 years to figure it out either. I totally agree. And I think it really has to do with age too. I mean, maybe some young people, if their mindset is not, you know, in that commitment stage, okay, yeah. But if you're at an age to where, if you know you don't want to get married and you just want to date and you're at an age that that's what you want to do, then just be upfront with that's what you want to do.
But for like me and you, you know, we're like seasoned veterans. You know, we've been married before. We've been through a lot of things before. We've seen what it's like. We now know what it is to be in the marriage. So we know the signs, we know the things that we look for and where we want to be and who's going to be serious and who's not going to be serious. And it all comes down to their actions. You know, if you're not showing me the actions, if you're not showing me the effort or the work that, you know, this is what you want, this is where you want to be in, you might as well just, you know, just kick back and you know, hey, continue to date, look for other prospects until somebody step up to that plate and they just really bring it.
Wow. Okay, ladies, I hope we're writing this stuff down. Kimmy says the length of the time shouldn't be the only determining factor because one person's long-term relationship might be someone else's short-term. That's true.
That's right. You think about, sometimes I look at some of the clear people, you know, they meet somebody in 3 weeks and next thing you know, 3 months later, they're getting married. You know, did they really know that they were the one, or did they have like certain qualities? You know, there's certain things, you know, that we as men, women that we look for. You know, I'm not looking for the baddest chick anymore, because the baddest chick is going to be bad to everybody else. It's going to be bad to others, and she's going to be wanted by a lot of people. But what I need from her is she going to be the baddest chick, be bad enough to take care of me when I'm sick. Because we get married, we commit to these vows, and everything's all good and coochie crunch in the beginning. But as soon as when we say for better, for worse, for better is all good. But when we get to the worst part, that's when people's like, they become clueless. This is where they become dumbfounded, like they don't know. No, you said for better, for worse. So now here comes the worst that's coming. So how are we going to communicate? How are we going to deal with this part? And just because we ain't never crossed this bridge doesn't mean that we can't get over it.
True. All right, ladies. I hope, like I said, I hope y'all listening. Resolve giving, he's dropping some gems. So we have no excuse. Okay, Mylea said, if someone can't talk about planning a future with you or showing you that they want to marry you, then it's most likely that they don't want you in the future.
Well, that all depends. Again,
most likely,
I could talk for 3 weeks with a woman about, hey, I want this, this, and that, but my actions have to back up what I'm saying. You know, am I really serious about this person? I could talk to them, I could tell 100 women the same thing over and over again. Doesn't mean that none of those 100 women are the one. You know, it's just finding that one who's going to meet the things that I want, the needs that I need. You know, and time shouldn't have anything to do with it. If you meet a person in 2 weeks, if you wait 5 years, hey, nothing wrong with that, nothing against you. You took your time, you let it flow. Within that 5 years, you've seen everything. Well, you should have seen everything by then. But it doesn't mean even if you get married in 5 years that the marriage is going to be stabilized. It's still a risky game.
Yeah, I mean, think about, we talked about variables last night. Like sometimes things happen and you may not have seen that person in that situation before. And then all of a sudden something happened and you see a totally different person and you're just looking like, wow, they changed. No, they really haven't changed. It's just that they haven't experienced that thing to bring it out of them. So we have to think about how if you meet a person that way, 10 years from now, they may not be the same way because we change. We should be changing. We should be growing, you know, individually, and we should be growing together.
Right. But the changes come within the 10-year span. You know, if you're married, you're going to change because as the world changes and evolves and get further into technology and everything, you're going to also become a different person as well. So you have to get ready for that. But the main thing that you and your partner should be doing is elevating each other, no matter how the world changes. Keep elevating each other, because that's going to be the key and one of the successes to your marriage or to your relationship for longevity and for it to last. Keep doing the things you was doing in the beginning. The relationship or the marriage won't end. So if y'all was dating a lot, you know, in the beginning, keep dating. Keep dating. Act like y'all ain't even married. Act like you still trying to work and get her and just keep it going. And next thing you know, it's going to be forever. Just like that. Snap of a finger, blink of an eye.
Okay, so how should a woman even bring up this conversation though? Because a lot of times we do waste time. we waste time. And a lot of times we're afraid to even say what it is that we want, fear that this man is going to be like, oh, no, I'm scared, I'm gone. And if it's not what you want, that's fine. You know, no love lost. Just be honest about what it is that you want. Hey, Lisa.
Well, you know right there from the conversation when you bring it up. Because if he shy away and move away from it, then obviously you ain't got a man. If he's scared to communicate and say, hey, this is what I want. If y'all can't discuss each other's needs and wants with each other, I don't see the relationship working out from the first place.
But he just wants to go with the flow. We don't have to discuss all that right now. We're brand new. Let's just go with the flow, and you know, whatever happens, it happens.
Yeah, if you date, yeah, but the flow can last 5 years. It can last 10 years. Are you going to be flowing?
So then why not have that conversation?
This is what happens with the flow. And I think this is where, ladies, this is where what you just said about the fear of you bring it up and you kind of like chase them away. See, everybody want to be pulled. Everybody want to get pulled up, but nobody wants to be pulled on. So if you keep pulling on, eventually I'm going to snatch my arm back. You know, I'm going to snatch my arm back, like, you know, let me go, stop, you heard me something or whatever the case. But in their mind, like, yeah, I want to get to that plateau, but right now, you know, let go. You know, you working my shoulder out of place. You know, something's going on. So I don't see nothing wrong with having the conversation. But just know, like, okay, I'm attracted to this person. This is always when I date or when I date a woman or whatever case, I always like to look into their eyes. And they think that, why are you looking at me? I'm not looking at you. I'm actually staring into you to see if I can deal or put up with you for the rest of my life. Are you the one? I need to connect with your soul. I need to know what's going on with your spirit, because we can't have no bad spirits running around here, around each other, bringing that aura into my positive energy. Because when I get ready to pour into you and you pouring into me, I don't need you pouring that bad energy into me. And then I'm giving it back to you. And now we ain't getting along and we butting head. So I need that same positive energy that I'm giving you back. So I need to look deep into your eyes and see what's the feeling I get from your spiritual side, from your emotional side, all of those things. If you need to break down and cry, let it out, girl. Let me know. Let me see. That tells me a lot. If I need to cry too, just bear with me. Just give me a minute and I'll be back. I know they say men ain't supposed to cry, but sometimes it happens.
Show those emotions. All right. So Michelle Echoes has written a book.
Uh-oh. Congratulations on the book.
No, I mean in the comments.
Oh, another one? Look, we got all these authors popping up tonight.
Michelle, I'm gonna need you to call in because I went to public school and I can't be reading all of this. So I'm gonna try. All right. So Michelle Echo said, I married my high school sweetheart in 1996. I love that man to death and he loves me too. It's a lot of things I thought I knew about him. Well, come to find out he had an addiction. I said, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? But we both trusted God. We married until death do us part. So whatever my husband been through, I'll be there till the end. My husband passed away in 2012 from lung cancer. In spite of all we've been through, I was there as his wife. I can tell y'all that God is good. If I told y'all what I've been through, y'all wouldn't believe me. I'm 59 years old now. Where are the good men? Wow. I'm sorry to hear about your husband, Michelle.
About to say, yeah, sorry for your loss, Michelle. We definitely know how it is to lose a loved one, especially to cancer. And I definitely know how it is to lose a spouse.
My father died from lung cancer. So here's someone that married her high school sweetheart, and you're marrying, I'm not sure what age did they get married? She said in 96. So she married him in 96. So they wasn't teenagers at the time, I'm assuming. So it's like you still growing. When you're that young, you're still growing. So a lot of things you probably not going to even experience, or you're going to experience it together. So here's a person that decided whatever it is that this other person is bringing, I'm going to accept it, but I'm going to love them through it. And a lot of times we can't do that. It's like we're running. As soon as we find out you got an issue, oh, we out of there. We are
But
not
that's what I
about
was,
to waste our time trying to nurse you back to health. We ain't going to counseling. We ain't doing none of that because we don't have the time to love
but that's
people
what
through
I'm
their
saying.
hurt.
I mean, I applaud her for doing the right thing by standing by her husband and not giving up on him, even through his addiction, and he hid it from him, which was wrong. Because when you state them vow, like everything should be clean, cut, and dry from that part. You need to be honest, and your partner know. Like if you got an addiction, it's up to them to accept if they're going to accept it or not. You know, going into don't get into it and like, aha, I got you. Guess what? And now you're becoming a total different person. And then how did you hide it for so long? But still, but this is what I was talking about with the for better and the for worse. You know, things got worse, but she still stood there. Usually when people see the for worse come is when they run the other way, like, oh no, I could do better with somebody else. And then that's where the confusion and relationships become toxic and the cheating and all that stuff come because people aren't ready for the for worse because they haven't seen the for worse. Well, some of them, let me take that back. And remember, the disclosure is views and opinions of us all and not Warriors Talk alone. So yeah, just had to put that out there.
I think we have an issue being honest with each other. I mean, just being totally honest. And if that person loves you, then they'll listen to you, they're gonna hear it, and they're not gonna hate you, they're not gonna turn you away. They're gonna be honest with you. But we have a problem telling the person that we say we love everything. We have that issue.
That's true.
Because we're afraid that if I tell this person that, they're gonna leave.
They're not gonna be with me no more. Exactly. You are hitting the nail on the head. Exactly. So it's best that I hide it and live this lie than to be with you and tell the truth and get some help. Now, this is where I will have to agree with you about the counseling, Miss Lady ReShell, because you know how it goes with your count. But this is one of the times where I have to say, get yourself some help so your marriage can last. So you can go back to being happy, because there had to be a reason why you wanted to marry this lady. There had to be a reason why you fell in love. Something made you happy. Something made you say those words, will you marry me? So I don't think it's just like a fad, like I just want to be married just because, I want to be married, even though when you do get to a certain age, you're 60 years old, like she said, ain't a lot of good men out there. So you trying to catch the best thing. It may not be the best thing, but in your eyes, the best thing that's smoking, because you're getting older. And even the farmer down the street is looking good now. So your options is getting low. You ain't got too many people that's going to want to pour into you, because at that time, that age, like, look, if it don't line up with you and it don't line up with me, we still can just come together. We know how to make it work. It's ooh, boy.
Don't be trying to make it seem like it's no 59-year-old men out there. That's good. That's some.
I'm not saying that it's not, but how long is she going to have to search? What is she's going to have to remember? We talked about the list. What is she's willing to sacrifice and give up on her list to find that new person that she needs in her life, or those wants that she needs to be fulfilled? You can't look at that list from 29 years ago with the same, at people now with the same list. That list has changed because she has changed. People has changed. The times has changed. So it's going to be some changes.
Your taste in men have changed.
That's true. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Don't be afraid to readjust your list. Cross some stuff off.
And I know that Chicago is known for them pimps. I see them rolling in them caddies. Look, you might have to put that on the list. Don't date no man in no caddy or no Escalade, because he's a pimp. I'm just saying, I don't know. Only been out to the shot twice.
I don't know what pimps you're talking about.
Okay, never mind. We'll go to the documentaries.
What? Okay. If you are just tuning in, we are talking about relationships and marriages. And we're talking about how soon is too soon to have the conversations about marriage, about commitment. You met somebody and y'all going out, y'all doing everything together. Y'all done moved in together. Y'all sharing a bank account. Y'all purchased a house. You going to the family reunion.
Whoa, wait. If you doing all of that and you're not married, that's the mistake right there. Because I'm not getting no house with no woman and we're not married. Now, I'll get an apartment and rent with you, and we can act like kind of like roommates. So in case it don't work out, we can get out. But the house is big commitment.
You're still doing married things. So you're doing married things. Okay, I have one of my sponsors on here, Paula Kelly. Hey, Paula.
Hey, Paula.
If you guys need some quality insurance, she has her own Allstate insurance agency that's located at 327 East Glenwood Lansing Road in Glenwood, Illinois. And you can call her for a free quote at 708-758-3300. Please tell her that Warriors Talk sent you. I know y'all need some quality insurance. Stop getting this bootleg insurance, and then when y'all get into an accident, they don't pay for nothing. Y'all coming out your pocket. Lisa said, experiences will cause the list to change. Yes, come on, Lisa. It will. It will.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff you don't even, a lot of stuff is materialistic stuff, or it's stuff like, oh, I want him to be 200 pounds. I want his fingernails to be clean. I want him to have a pedicure. Like little stuff like that you probably can help him with, but some stuff don't even need to be on the list. Kenya says that's not true. So everybody that drives a Cadillac is not a pimp. I have Cadillac on here. He does drive a Cadillac, but he is no pimp. Okay, so that's true, Kenya. That's true.
Where Cadillac? Where my boy at tonight? Where he at?
He's on here, but he drives a Cadillac, but he is not a pimp. So that's true, Kenya. Rizal trying to lump all these Chicago men into.
Look, I ain't say that every man was a pimp, but most pimps drive Cadillacs. That's all I'm saying. I ain't the one to gossip.
Hilarious. Okay, so Cadillac says, I agree with him on the house. Sorry. I totally agree. I don't want to buy no house with you and we not married. Unless the marriage is coming down the line and we engaged and we already have a date, so we get in the house, then yeah, I'll do that. But I'll just get my own house and we could just.
Because that's too big of a commitment. A house, you got to sign. That's like 30 years. If you ain't paying for it in cash up front, that's 30 years. Yeah. 30 years you got to deal with this person. Your name is on that dotted line. That's a whole marriage in itself right there.
So now you got to tell your new boo, my ex, we got this house together. So now we got to live in here, because we got the house, we're trying to dissolve everything, no, I'm not.
Now you straight pimp, because now you got your new boo and then you got the boo that signed over the house. So now they going to be sister wives. So now you got a whole entanglement going on right inside of the house.
That's a whole nother conversation. Thank you, my Leah, for sharing the show. All 8 of you, I appreciate you listening in. Can you share this show with someone else that would benefit from it? We are live on Intellectual Radio, talking about relationships and marriages, and how soon should we be having these conversations? So I appreciate that. Lisa says, I agree with him. I am not, doing all the married stuff without the marriage.
That's right. You shouldn't anyway. You should still let that man court you, date you, and you decide like, okay, I think he's marriage material. He could be the one. And I put could be, because, when them masks and them, when that start to wear off, and the real him starts to show up, it becomes a different story. So just continue to date him to see, how he is. You need to see him in all his seasons. You need to see him when he's up, when he's down, when he's rich, he's poor, happy, sad, and mad. You need to see all of that before you even think about getting married. Because once you get into the marriage, that's forever. So death do us part. And that one time there is going to be death is going to be the sole separator of you both. So you got to think wisely, because I'm quite sure a lot of women would have thought more articulately about picking their baby daddy than just laying down sleeping with someone. If they could take a lot of them baby daddies back and not be baby mamas to a lot of these men, their lives would be totally different. It's the same thing when it comes down to these marriages and who you pick to spend your life with.
All right.
Well, you stuck with that other man. You stuck with him because y'all got a child together.
Girl, you ain't stuck with him. Just do child support and keep it moving.
Y'all listen to Lady Michelle if y'all want. Y'all stuck forever.
You can pay it. Don't get the system in your business. But if you got to get the system in your business, then do it. But if he's willing to pay and y'all can do an agreement, then do it that way.
All right, I see another author up here.
There's so many comments on here. I wanted to Lisa said, I may not like him in 30 years. Hey, Shanera.
Hey, guess what? You signed on the dotted line, for better, for worse. Lisa, you in it now. You in it to win it. Committed.
All right, I'm about to read Michelle's other book. She said, Michelle, we appreciate your comments. Thank you so much. She says, my husband has 7 sisters, and they asked me, how can you do this, what my brother took you through? And I said, I loved him, but God's going to work it out. You got to have faith, sweetie. And you got to have faith, sweetie, right? Because I'm not a bad person, honey. I'm a darn good woman, and I would not let another man take me there. I can do bad all by myself, and I don't want to grow old lonely. All right, Kimmy, with another book. All seasons. I like the all seasons thing. You have to make sure that you see somebody operate in all seasons.
What's the name? I remember her. We were supposed to hook her up or find somebody for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Hey. All right, what was Kimmy's book? I seen another author.
Oh my God, Kimmy, where you at? I can't be reading all this stuff. Let me see. She says, I gotta squint. She says, personally, I am not a fan of following the expectations of society. Communication really needs to be established together so that the union can stand the test of time. If marriage is what you require, that needs to be made clear within the first year. If after that nothing has changed, don't stay and settle. You have to value yourself more. All right. I totally agree. We miss out on that communication part. I'm telling you, the communication, it seems like it's a little thing, but it is so key. If you just communicate with each other and not really we like to put our expectations on somebody else. Stop expecting people to do certain things and just do what you're supposed to do. Do what you're supposed to do, because every time we expect something, we get disappointed with people. So stop putting that on people and stop hurting yourself like that. It's like we break our hearts every time because we expecting somebody to do something. We put our expectations. Well, he should do this. She should act like this. No, that's how you want to act. Look at what did Maya Angelou say? When somebody tell you who they are, when they show you who they are, believe it. Believe it the first time. Stop putting your own spin on it.
Or you'll look at other marriages, like we said earlier. We'll look at other marriages and such and such did this for his wife. Why can't you do, it's kind of like they try to plant the seed in your head because they hear from their girlfriend what their husband did, and you want your husband to try to take initiative and do those things. No, you know who you married. You know what you married. You knew what you was getting yourself into. If he wasn't doing those things in the beginning, don't expect them, because you're not going to, again, women get into relationships, and again, my personal view, women get in relationships thinking they can change the man. Men get into relationships hoping that the woman don't change.
Just be yourself. Stop trying to change people and be yourself.
And then if you go and change, or I have to change something about you, you wasn't the one for me from the beginning.
It's not the person. So now I'm liking somebody that was not the person that I met. So why are you going to try to change that person? You was attracted to that person. Something drew you to that person. So now you want this person to change. That's a totally different person. That's not the person that I fell in love with.
Now, I do believe in enhancing them, but don't change. I mean, that's different than changing them. Enhancing is you already have it, so you don't have to change. You already got it. We just want to make it better.
All right. Shanera said, "Hey, y'all, hook me up." How old are you, Shanera? We have Shanera on the show. She's single. And I mean, how else are we going to meet people? We meet people on social media. I'd rather do Facebook, Instagram versus going on to like one of those swipe left, swipe. Like that's just so, to me, it just seems so degrading. So, okay, y'all. How old are you, Shanara? Can you?
A lot of good things came out of online dating from a lot of people. And then dealing with the COVID, all you could do was online date, FaceTime and WhatsApp and all those different things. So, but hey, shoot, we only got one guy on there. That's Cadillac and myself. So she ain't got a lot of pickings going on.
Somebody else did do Be Kind and rewind and listen to the show. I mean, people listen on YouTube. We have intellectual radio. We have different outlets where they listen. Shanara said, "I just want us to be ourselves and let's be great together." Exactly. Why not? Why not? Okay, let's see what Cadillac said. He says, when you try to start changing people, that's when the problem starts. That's so true. Don't do. Oh, she's 44. All right, girl, that's a great age.
44.
Okay, you look great.
Mm-hmm. I thought she was going to say something like 32 or something like that. Boy, that's that black don't crack. You women, boy, that skin tone, that melt. You know, y'all, something special. I love my beautiful black woman. Look at Lady ReShell. You heard her say she almost 50. What? Lady ReShell, she still got these teenagers chasing her.
Really? I have a son your age. Sorry.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about what to do, or how does it look when he doesn't commit. So the first one says he doesn't commit because there's no consequences to his procrastination.
Well, there actually is. Because if you procrastinate, you lose out. So that could be because you could have had something, you're going to give up something good because you thought there was something better. So they say procrastination will have you all in a bind. So there is consequences. You lose. So, yeah.
Shanara said, "Yeah, so funny." So the second thing you need to know, if he doesn't commit, it says he has too many premature benefits.
Too many premature benefits.
We already having sex. We already living together. We got joint bank accounts.
He has too many premature benefits. So what are you going to do? It's too late. You already got the bank account and all these things. So what are you going to do? You're going to close the account? You're going to move out? You're going to do all these things? You're going to put the baby back? Like, we're going to put Junior back on the show? No, it's too late. So now the thing is, how do you get him in the mindset of marriage, of getting you two to become one, unified, sacrificial, all of these different things? Because it's too late now. You ain't gave him the milk. You gave him the cow, or however it goes.
Well, Paula says, so true. They think you can marry them and then they will try to change you. Conversation is always good before marriage. Be honest with each other.
And again, I think that's where we struggle, because we always say, I don't want to hurt you. And because we don't want to hurt you, we don't want to tell you. We don't want to let you know what's going on. We don't want to let you know that we silently struggling because we want to show that we're your shining knight in armor. We want to show that we're strong, that we're the man, that we're good. We're going to beat on our chest and, you know, and all these different things. And then when there's, you know, like a sign of weakness, now I can't tell her that because she's going to think one way when I showed her another. But if you just be you from the beginning, you don't have to worry about those things. And I think I always say, don't be trying to be something that you're not. Just be good at who you are.
All right. So the third one, how do you know he won't commit, is there's no established timelines on the relationship.
Here we are with the time thing, though. The time. Time is. I understand that time is against us as it is, but then again, time. You're waiting for time. You're waiting. Time. next relationship, I'm gonna have to dig. I'm gonna have to come up with something good to talk about time and how it really plugs into everything, because time could be a benefit. It gives you time to become a better person. It gives you time to see things that you didn't think that you would see. So you just time. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that one. I'm gonna think about that one. That's one I gotta sleep on.
Okay, I like what Kelleck just said. He says it's hard to go back after going forward. So hard. He just has to realize that you are the one.
Plain and simple. Thank you, Cadillac. That's what I said. You can't go back. Now you want to strip this man or this woman of these things because you laid it all out there. And the same thing. You got a lot of men that could do hubby things, but she's not willing to commit. She's not. She's just seeing you as another like opportunity. Let me see how much money I can get from him. How many bills can he pay? Can he fly me on trips and do all this stuff? And here you got a good man, and you messing it up for the next man, for woman.
Michelle said, well, why our Black men don't approach us, Black women's, when they see a sister, Black men's, they act like they stuck on themselves. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out what that meant, Michelle.
All right, Michelle, we're going to have to talk to your editing team.
Okay, and Shanira wrote a book.
All right.
I guess she was saying why the Black men don't approach us when they see a Black sister. They act like they stuck on themselves instead of approaching us.
Wait a minute, the men or the sisters? Because y'all be acting like y'all stuck on yourselves too.
Act like they stuck on themselves. You can clarify if you can, Michelle. Shanera says, I'm a grown woman, and she put the heels.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Let the church say amen.
She says, now I got plenty of experience. I hope he's ready for the real deal, and he's going to be my king, and she's going to treat each other good to the best of our abilities and not assume anything, but communication is one of the key to successful relationships. I am one woman's man. She's a one man's woman. Oh, y'all making me work today. All this reading, come on, y'all.
They got a lot to say tonight.
Diploma is really y'all putting it to work. Kenya said, be nice sometimes. You can be trying to fast and make errors. Oh, okay. She says, be kind. We're being kind. We know y'all typing fast and y'all trying to get y'all comments. So y'all might make errors, but we appreciate the comments for you even taking the time to even type it. But you know what? You can call in if you want to. Not right now though, because we're getting ready to wrap up. But you can, when we do Relationship Monday again, you can call in. The number is 708-223-8953. And I should have put it in the comments because you can always call in, you guys, and give your comments. Okay, where was I before? I'm gonna read your comment in 1 second.
Well, we was talking. Well, wait a minute. One of the comments was talking about why are women not being approached, right? Or something like that.
So I might have read it wrong. Can you clarify, Michelle, please? Your comment.
Oh yeah, that was Michelle. Yeah, we're waiting for her to finish the other chapter.
She might have been typing really fast. Oh, Shanera, did I read that already?
Yeah, she read that one because I see the hills in there.
Okay, so let me get to number 4. Number 4, reason why he won't commit, it says he believes that you won't leave him.
Yeah, it's like if you stuck around this long, and a lot of men know she ain't going nowhere. She'll be back because y'all went through too much together. You invested too much time, too much blood, sweat, and tears into this man, and they know you undid a lot, so they know you ain't going nowhere. You're not going to just get up and leave, especially y'all living together. You may have a kid together. Nah, you ain't. Nope. It's going to take a lot.
I think Kelleck is responding to Michelle. He says all Black men are not. It's not the Black men; it's the Black women. And he says that we're harder on them. They do more thinking than reacting. The Black men do more thinking than reacting.
And not only, I mean, you question why aren't men, approaching. You have to be approachable. A lot of women aren't approachable.
Michelle says, ladies and men, like she said, it has to come from the heart. If it's not from the heart, you can move on. I agree.
We'll have to come from there.
Your actions, whatever you're doing when it comes to relationship. If it's
Yeah.
not, then she's saying keep moving. If it's not coming from the heart, I totally agree. So the fifth thing that you need to know why he won't commit.
Mm-hmm. But that's after a certain time frame, also. Because there's some women after a week, they're like, "Can you take care of the bill? I never asked you for anything." Like, it's only been a week. What you gonna ask me for within a week? You even barely got to Red Lobster yet. But anyway.
He's not mature enough to commit anyway. Oh, that's silence.
He's not mature to commit anyway. Again, I think that plays on the age. You know, when you older in season, you'll commit.
No.
But I think when you younger, you know what they say, young, dumb, and full of, then that's a different story. Especially if, you know, there's like, you're traveling, you're seeing a lot of different opportunities, you're seeing a lot of different women, you know, all shapes, flavors, colors, personalities, all different things. And it's hard just to get down to, you know, to one. When you start getting up there, that selection starts thinning out a little bit. People start getting cut off, your priorities, they change a little bit. So you ain't looking for that hot thing, you know, you ain't trying to be a hot girl for the summer. You know, you may just take, all right, maybe a lukewarm, you know, or maybe just put me in the microwave for 30 seconds and I'll be all right, you know. So it's a lot of things with women that got to change too if you want, you know, that good man to come. But the men will commit, they will. I ain't giving up on my brothers. Black men don't cheat. Proud to the people.
I was just waiting on the lightning to strike. All right. My Leah has the last comment of the day. She says, age doesn't always equal maturity. So, Rizal, you have 30 seconds to give us some words of wisdom as it relates to relationships and marriages and how we're going to do this.
30 seconds. I say if you be with the one you love the one you're with. And if you do what you do in the beginning, you know, to get her, keep doing it throughout that relationship, and you'll see the longevity into your marriage and forever. And that's what the point where we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to forever, but we're trying to get to it happily. We're trying to create an atmosphere where things ain't always so chaotic and toxic. So other people who's, you know, watching or in the same situation say, hey, you know, that couple over there, I like them. I like watching them. It's so many couples that I see walking, you know, still just the little things, just walking down the street holding hands, or maybe in the car, you know, you're taking a drive and you just reach over and you grab his hand. Like, it's those little things for me that matters in the relationship or marriage that we need to continue to do. It's not the big things, especially when it comes to Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day should be every day for her. She should always get flowers. She should always get candy or whatever her wants and needs is, something. So that's my words of wisdom and my advice to those people that's out there who's married or trying to get hitched.
30 seconds then.
Look now.
Okay, I got to wrap this up. All right, so I'll leave you with these words of wisdom. Self-love is so important. How you love yourself is how you teach other people to love you. So join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell. Co-hosting with me is the Biz, Rizal Gilmore. And with Warriors Talk, we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.